Hey, Mike and Jordan, I wanted to reach out with a few questions that maybe you could cover one day on the podcast. Thoughts on exercises like a renegade row or triceps kickback while in a plank. Also, squat with shoulder press.
Hold on. Pause right there before you go on to the rest. Renegade rows suck, number one.
This is going to be your answer.
You're going into more, let's cover each one individually.
Okay.
The one that got me, I hate renegade rows. I'm happy to talk about why.
All exercises where you're doing more than one exercise in one is awful and is inefficient and is if you want to do it for endurance or to get your heart rate up, there are way better ways to do endurance and get your heart rate up. You are like a lunge to curl, a squat to press.
Yeah.
You're never going to be like at an RPE 8 for two different movement patterns on the at the exact same time. You're either going to be not making optimal bicep progress because you can curl more than you can shoulder press, or vice versa. Usually you can shoulder press more than you can curl. And so pairing these up, you're just leaving massive amounts of progress on the table. Now, someone might say, well, I don't have a lot of time to work out, so I'm trying to squeeze it all in. Cool. Superset the two movements. Reduce rest time. There are other ways to do that, but by selecting a weight, you're limiting yourself on your stronger movement. And so you're not going to make as much progress on your stronger movement.
Fact. Did they say a plank with a tricep extension?
Yeah. Let me finish the question.
When I heard that, my brain just broke. It fried. I was like, what the fuck how do you do a plank and a tricep extension at the same time?
It's a great question. Turns into a single arm plank with a tricep. I don't know.
I don't know how you do it. I need to see a video of this shit.
Also, squat with shoulder press. Would y'all program these? I kind of roll my eyes at some of these exercises because I don't see the point unless the goal is moving in a way that's different than normal. I don't see these helping with hypertrophy or strength, but maybe endurance. Renegade row, I feel is really pointless, but would love to hear y'all's thoughts.
Love that. Yeah, Renegade row sucks shit. People always get mad when I say that it sucks. It's a terrible exercise. It's terrible. There's no reason to be doing it. It doesn't take working with that many general population clients to quickly realize that their wrists are going to hurt dramatically, and it would be just far better if they did a plank superset with a dumbbell row. You get the best of both worlds. You strengthen their back, which is what you want, and you strengthen their core, which is what you want. Superset them back and forth. Don't try and do both at the same fucking movement. I will say a squat to a press, there's another word for this is called a thruster, whether you're doing dumbbells or barbells. And that's a very good conditioning exercise, but it's for conditioning. So you shouldn't be loading it up super heavy so the squat is really heavy. It should be very lightweight. If I'm doing it, if I'm doing it with dumbbells, I'll use between 10 to at most 20 pound dumbbells at most. And I can lift way more than that, but it's when you're doing it for a conditioning purpose, a squat to an overhead press, which is really just a thruster. I would never use it for strength. I would never use it for hypertrophy. I would only use that specific one for an endurance type workout. Plank with a tricep extension quite literally sounds like the absolute dumbest exercise I've ever heard of in my life. I can't imagine how it's done. I see no reason for it to be done. If you want to strengthen their core, do a plank. You want to get their triceps stronger, more defined, whatever, feel free to do tricep extensions as one of your exercises. But yeah, those, like Mike said, combination exercises for the vast majority of people and for the vast majority of goals are a waste of time.
And even if you are going to program them, like for conditioning in that one example that you gave, if getting stronger on a squat is also a goal, you're going to be doing the conditioning work at the very end of the workout, lighter, lower rest, higher rep. Your primary focus is going to be doing an actual squat with loads closer to failure.
Yep.
You have a plank with a tricep kickback. I don't know about that one.
I don't even know how that works.
Did you bring the dumbbell back up to the front with you?
I don't know.
I think a lot of these exercises get programmed by coaches who just want to make their clients do something hard. And by hard, I mean get your heart rate up, get sweaty. And clients end up going to these types of, coaches or classes or whatever it is because they want the feeling of doing something hard, right? Like a sweaty workout essentially, when as we know, hard isn't always optimal.
Yeah. I think usually it's newer coaches, oftentimes newer coaches who feel like, I think one of the biggest struggles among newer coaches is them feeling like they have to entertain their clients with new exercises. I think for me personally, it was one of the most difficult things, and for a lot of coaches that we speak with in the mentorship, and just in general, they feel like their clients are getting bored. And there are a couple of things you have to remember. Number one is effective strength training is boring, especially after you've been doing it for a long time. Your clients aren't nearly as bored as you think they are, because you're writing new programs for, I don't know, 10, 20, 40, 50, 70 clients, whatever it is. And you're programming the same exercises over and over and over and over again, however many times a week and month. They're getting one program. That's it. And so they're not seeing the same exercises as many times as you are. So your perception of what you think they're bored with is actually very flawed. And they're probably not bored with it. Sometimes they might be, but those are usually the more advanced people. People have been doing it for a while. But even then, if I had a client who was like, hey, I'm bored, can we do something different? I'd be like, yeah, sure. Instead of doing a dumbbell row, we'll do a pause dumbbell row. Or instead of doing a pause dumbbell row, we'll do an inverted row. Instead of doing inverted row, we'll do a seated cable row, whatever it is. But like, we're still doing rows no matter what. And we're not doing a seated cable row with a tricep extension superset just because like you're fucking bored. It makes no sense. If you want a coach to do that, then we'll separate and you go find. And I've had clients do that. Not many, but I've had clients do that, and then they come back within like 3 to 6 months. Like, okay, yeah, it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. And they realize that being entertained is far less important than actually getting results.
Well said.